You know, thank you for coming. My name is Jesse Belton. I'm a retired Sacramento City firefighter paramedic. And basically what we're going to be doing today is what is called radio frequency scanning. So I'm going to go ahead and explain how it works. Okay, there's 3 phases to this. There's a preliminary scan, and what that is we check for radio frequency emissions utilizing what is called the JM20 Pro radio frequency detector. And if you come up positive on that, we'll use a frequency counter, which will give us the frequency that it is picking up or emitting on. Okay? Okay. So phase 2 requires this. If you come up positive on the scan, you're still going to need the medical imaging. So you're going to have to obtain an X-ray, an MRI, or a CT, depending on what. But most of the time, you probably only need an X-ray, which is very affordable. It's about between $60 and $80. Okay, and we can help you, guide you to where you need to go to get that done. Okay, but that's the part that needs to happen on phase 2. Phase 3 is we need to go in a controlled environment and do further testing, because so that when we go to court, we can say we're 100% absolutely positive that this person, this human being, is emitting an RF frequency. And the purpose here is to give you evidence. Okay. Because if you want doctors, anyone in the medical field, the scientific community, or the law enforcement, or even those in politics, or those in positions of power, even pastors, for example, you really need evidence. Because if you go and tell them the story, it's just a story to them. Okay? And they're going to think you're nuts. That's the bottom line. I hate saying that, but that's the truth. And that's what those who are doing this to us want to have. They want us all to be labeled crazy, so you lose all rights. Okay? No.
The following are the results of our tour when we started our radio frequency scanning across America in Sacramento, California. Here are some test results that came up positive of victims of domestic terrorism. This is Christopher, 5 years old. Positive in his left shoulder area. He also came up positive in his right scapula area. His father states this was done to him in a dental office when he received a shot. Our next victim, who came up positive for domestic terrorism, is Bonnie Kellerby. Bonnie has been a victim for over a decade. She came up positive for RF transmission in her right TMJ. In addition, she came up positive near her left TMJ. She also tested positive for RF transmission on her left and right shoulder region. The following who came up positive is David Gonzalez. David came up positive in his right shoulder region. Our next victim is Richard Northern. Richard Northern has been a victim for over 20 years. Richard Northern came up positive for RF transmission near his left TMJ area. This is Barbara. Barbara flew in from out of the country to have an RF scan. Barbara has been tortured over the years in many ways, what most women call a silent rape. She came up positive in her lower lumbar, her lower back area. She can pinpoint with needlepoint accuracy where she believes an implant is, and you can see by our RF testing it comes up positive. Another area that Barbara complained with pinpoint accuracy was the back of her neck, and sure enough we came up with positive radio frequency emission in our preliminary scan.
In Europe, we started the testing tour in the German capital, Berlin, where I met up with the Swedish lawyer Dr. Henning Witte, who was going to interview the victims while I was doing the testing. The first person tested was Waldemar, He tested positive in both sites in the TMJ area.
Und jetzt ein bisschen weg davon. Ja. Noch tiefer. Von der Antenne weg.
Next up was Monica. Monica tested positive in her right TMJ area.
Zur Antenne wieder hin. Von der Antenne weg. Ja, zur Antenne wieder hin. Sieht man das auf dem... Ja.
Ist da was?
Ja.
Here I'm testing Gisela. Gisela came up positive in the TMJ area on both sides.
Sieht man das?
Man hört es vor allem. Jetzt sieht man es auch, ja. Das ist eindeutig.
She also came up positive in her lower back. I tested both Gisela's children and they both came up positive.
Dann wieder ans Gerät rantreten.
This is the testing of Sabine.
Was gefunden?
Das Übliche.
Sabine came up positive in her right TMJ area.
Ans Gerät wieder rantreten. Wieder zurück.
Nee, veränder du mal deinen Arm überhaupt nicht, Lars. Geh mal jetzt wieder weg. Nichts verändern, Lars. Zurück.
Sabine also tested positive on her back at the left shoulder area.
Jetzt wieder weg. Wieder zurück. Noch näher ran. Ja, das ist doch ziemlich eindeutig. Wieder weg.
The following are victims of domestic terrorism who came up positive on radio frequency scans on our tour through Chicago, Illinois. Our first victim is Angela. Angela came up positive on our left temporal area. Our next victim is Sandrea. Sandrea came up positive in her right temporal region.
Positive RF on the right temporal region.
In addition, she came up positive on her right shoulder for emission of radio frequency.
Positive RF on the right shoulder.
Our next victim is Mike. His torture began at approximately age 19.
Alright, let me just zoom in on
He
it.
came up positive in his right temporal region.
Here we go.
Right temporal.
Okay.
Mike also came up positive in his left temporal area.
We ended our European testing tour in Hamburg in northern Germany.
Signal, ja?
In Hamburg, this young man came up positive in his left
Ja.
TMJ area.
Ja, wieder rangehen. Ja, wieder weggehen. Wieder rangehen. Das ist schon eindeutig. Und dann bist du wieder weg davon. Ran. Ja, wieder Signal. Weg davon.
As we continued our testing across the United States, our next stop was Kenosha, Wisconsin. In Kenosha, Wisconsin, we had several people come up positive. Our first victim is Debbie. Debbie had complained of being a victim of domestic terrorism for many years. She suffered from Debbie came up positive for radiofrequency transmission in our preliminary testing near her right flank area. Our next victim is Lisa. Lisa, just as Debbie, has been complaining of being tortured for many years. Lisa came up positive near her left temporal region, just above her ear, and she came up positive near her right temporal area.